Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday in my life. I actually have the day to do my Sunday routine. We're gonna refresh, clean. I've got groceries coming at some point today, and I'm just excited to have myself a nice, productive Sunday. Setting up on Sundays just always makes me feel really good. On the agenda today, like I said, we've got groceries coming. I need to clean. There's a whole bunch of meal prepping we're doing in this vlog because I've got so much I want to meal prep. Maybe do some planning or something and just have like a chiller evening. Some very exciting news. We are officially 30 weeks today. It's insane to me. I've never hit the 30s. We've got a little bump update here for you. Like, she's popping, or shall I say he's popping. Yeah, it's just insanity to me. I love being pregnant, but I will say I've been in my head a lot with just like body issues and stuff. So I'm excited, but I'm excited for like 7 weeks from now, you know, like I want baby to stay in obviously, but I'm just like ready to have the baby here in my arms and be able to like have my body back. And I don't want people to confuse myself saying like body back as in like I'm gonna be like ripped right after I give birth. My body back is more just like my capabilities. I haven't been able to work out this pregnancy, which is like a big part of my life. So like just being able to move my body better, you know, eat the stuff I want to eat and like just be capable and like be able to like do things that I'm not able to do right now. Like that's what I mean. Not like a, oh my God, I'm gonna be like super hot shit when I, you know. So like hibernation period, birth, newborn, C-section, post-recovery, move. Like that's all I want to do right now is just gym, walks, like movement. Breastfeeding is going to be, I love breastfeeding honestly. I know some people like don't, and it's not that I didn't have my struggles, but I loved being able to provide for my son. And that was like the one thing that I had when he was in the NICU for 3 months, that I felt like I was actually a mom and that my baby was like needing me. If you have a NICU experience, like you know the struggles that go into your mind, and I just felt like so good. It felt so good to produce and like provide for my son. So the fact that my body was able to do that, I love that. Obviously everybody and baby is you know, pregnancy is different. I have like breastfeeding goals and stuff and I want to breastfeed. If anything, just like pump too. Like I'm definitely pumping, but my body's gonna do what it's gonna do. But I hope that I can provide for this baby too because I loved breastfeeding. It really brought me a lot of joy. Anywho, little pregnancy chat there. I'm gonna start with cleaning. I'm gonna finish this, make myself a coffee, and just clean as much as I can until my back starts like aching really bad. All right, I'm gonna start with the kitchen and then the living room. Look at what we've got here. So we did a potty training weekend. We did the 3-day method. So we took all of our cushions off the couch. We've got towels everywhere, rugs are gone. So Z's gonna help me with that when he gets back. In the meantime, I'm just gonna do like a quick clean of like mirrors, surfaces, our table, that kind of stuff. Like just get this area cleaned. And this is always like a cluttered space right here. So I'm probably gonna go through that and just kind of like declutter and then wipe some surfaces down. And then this room, oh my God, this is the fun room. This is always just insanity. So this is Xander's job. We've got things that need to go to storage, trash, recycling. So this is definitely gonna have to like be decluttered today at some point. clean. I still got to get the rug down and do the floors, which I typically do, but Z's gonna do that for me because I feel like that's a lot. And then kitchen's clean, feel nice and good. Now I'm gonna declutter this. All right, that looks so much better. Just got a WholeFoods order in. I decided to do delivery this time. I just found out that they do like a $10 like monthly fee, and then they waive the delivery fee. So it's a free trial, so I'm gonna try it, see how many times I use it, and then depending on if I use it enough, which I feel like it would be super convenient to have the groceries delivered. And I love WholeFoods, and I also have an Amazon Prime membership, which takes discounts off. There's like an app, it's a whole thing, so it makes WholeFoods less expensive. Quite frankly, if you're not buying a ton of like processed foods, WholeFoods is not that expensive. Like, it really isn't. I mean, here in Florida we have Publix, which is super expensive for not quality food. Trader Joe's is like the best, but they don't really have a delivery service, and it's constantly like packed in there. So like, I love Trader Joe's, but I still feel like I'm not getting the best quality food. Like, there's a lot of like sugars and stuff like that, not as many chemicals, but it's still like packed with like salts and food. Like, I don't know, it's just like a lot of processed foods. Like, I love their processed foods, but they have really good prices too with produce and stuff. But when I go there, I'm always tempted to try all their processed foods, and like I said, it's just like a whole process going to Trader Joe's. And so WholeFoods delivers, I get the Prime membership, and then having the free delivery, I'm like, it makes sense. And I love WholeFoods. Like, that's my favorite grocery store. It's just a little bit pricey sometimes. That's the only caveat. So anyway, I got some sparkling water. I love sparkling water, and I've been craving and drinking a lot of Sprite. So this should do me better. I got a whole bunch of produce. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing some meal prep here. I have the week to myself here. Xander's like in and out of like being on site this week, so I'm just gonna meal prep the stuff that I need. If it's readily available, I'll eat it. If not, I always tell myself I'll cook, and then I don't. So I got a whole bunch of tuna. This will be good for like tuna sandwiches and stuff. Also, excuse, I have the dryer and washer on. Avocados. Bryson loves avocados, and so do we. I got a ton of like just what are these called? Red potatoes. Xander makes the best salmon, potatoes, and green beans. I don't know what he does with the salmon and stuff, but there's like this technique, and it's delicious. So I always try to have that at least once a week. And Bryson's actually obsessed with salmon, and it's so good for you. So I'm like, yeah. Got a whole whack of bananas. I've been on my smoothie kick again, and I actually ate all of my frozen bananas. So I wanted a whole bunch because we eat a lot in this household, but also having them ripen and frozen for the smoothies are perfect. Cottage cheese, always good to have. Oh yeah. Bacon from the butcher shop. This is the best bacon, straight from the butcher. This is our salmon, like I said, for that meal that I'm gonna make Xander make for us this week. Always Greek yogurt. This is my favorite. The texture of this Greek yogurt, it's like prime. It's so thick and creamy. And then I got some chicken, which we're gonna meal prep. Fun, interesting fact about me, I hate cooking chicken. I'm actually kind of scared of it. Like, anything that can be eaten raw and like give you food poisoning, I freak out. So this is gonna be a big one for me. I just found this video of how to meal prep chicken, and a lot of it is like, what's it called? Like pounding it, making it like super thin. So I feel like if I do it that way, I won't be as scared of it. I've got some granola. This is my favorite granola. These cookies are so yummy, and I'm gonna do a Ninja Creamy prep thing, and then adding this in the mix. It's gonna be so good. Got a ton of oatmeal. We needed to restock on that. Syrup, always. More blueberries, some feta cheese, coconut milk. So I wanna try this with, what was I gonna try this with? Oh, my matchas. Got almond milk and Bubby's milk. Got, ooh, gonna dive into this. Dried mango. It's like the best thing to eat. It's not, there's no sugar or anything. If you're like a gummy person, and I'm a huge gummy person, like eating dessert. But it's just straight up mango. Really on a nut kick lately. I want salt, you know? It's better than like potato chips. I always see people eating pickled onions with their bowls and stuff. I love onions, and I think the pickled part is the pregnancy craving. In the beginning of this pregnancy, I was eating a lot of kimchi, or not kimchi, kraut. Baked beans, another Bubby must. I've also been diving back into like my dark chocolate kick. So I've got this brand, which I've had before, it's really good, but this is just almonds and sea salt, cashew butter, raspberry. This is like one of my favorite brands of chocolates. They're really, really good and the ingredients are really great. And then this Theo one, salted toffee. This one looks the best. I got some bars, Go Macro bars for Bubs, RX bars for us. RX bars are the cleanest bars. Like, it tells you on the front too exactly what's in them. More berries, we've got some strawberries, blackberries. I'm gonna use these actually in the Ninja Creamy recipe that I wanna do today. We've got eggs. Not the brand I typically go for, but they substituted. And we got 2. Usually there's like a 1 per person. I haven't been to the grocery store though in a while, so do they have eggs yet? I don't even know. Veggies, green beans, broccoli. I used to eat these all the time. They're cauliflower hash browns. And the only place I find them are in like a WholeFoods. They're really, really good in the air fryer because they get super crispy. Actually, post-pregnancy with Bryson, I was eating that all the time. Like my breastfeeding meal was like eggs, those hash browns, and avocado with ketchup. Like, that was my breastfeeding meal. This bread that I'm obsessed with, if you guys watch my What I Eat in a Week video, I just recently found this bread. It's in the freezer aisle at WholeFoods, but I just pop it in the fridge. It is so good and the ingredients are super clean. Here's the ingredients if you want to press pause and read them. I feel like bread is so tough because I went down the whole sourdough route, and I'm honestly, you guys, I just threw it in my starter because I don't like and enjoy the process of making sourdough. I don't know, I just feel like I'd rather purchase it. So we have a sourdough company that we go to at the farmer's market once a month, so I buy a loaf from them. But honestly, I'm fine with just regular bread as long as they're not like ingredient list like this, which typically is what you find in bread. WholeFoods has really good options, but this one actually tastes like bread. Like, it's not like a healthier bread alternative and it tastes weird. Like, that's really good bread. So that is the WholeFoods haul. I'm gonna put the stuff away and then we'll start doing our meal prep. I've still got half of the house to clean, but my back hurts. Meal prep time, there's a 2-2-2 rule that I've been following that makes meal prepping super easy and yummy and delicious during the weeks and not boring. So what you do is you do 2 proteins, 2 veggies, and 2 carbs, and then you can make bowls during the week. You know, play with those bowls, play with the proteins, play with like what you're feeling in the moment. It's been the best way for me to meal prep, and I actually eat it. And Xander, quite frankly, eats it as well. He eats it before like Tuesday, and I'm like, what the hell? So I've got chicken, like I mentioned. We're gonna do this, pound it and do paprika, garlic powder, salt, and pepper maybe. And the key, I think, of not being scared to cook the chicken is pounding it. So I'm gonna make them all the same width, and then we'll put them in the oven at 375 for, it said 20 to 25 minutes. ChatGPT. Hopefully that'll come out good and juicy. I'm gonna put it on some foil too, see if that makes a difference. I usually just cut it up and then it gets like super dry because I overcook it, and then I'm scared to eat it anyways. So I feel like this will be a better way to cook it. And then I'm gonna do eggs. We're gonna just boil eggs. As for veggies, we've got the broccoli and Brussels. I'm gonna do like a pan sheet, and then I'm gonna add the sweet potatoes too, which will be one of our carbs. And then I'm also gonna make some quinoa. I don't actually make quinoa quite often, but I know it's so freaking healthy for you. So that's the meal prep. That's the meal prep. That's what we're doing today. Pop it in the oven. Then we've got our quinoa going. I've got water boiling, and I'm gonna put about 7 to 8 eggs in here. I'm gonna pop these in the oven at 425. I ended up doing green beans just because my Brussels seemed a little bit old. They're technically from last week's grocery. So I'm just gonna do the green beans. We've got some olive oil and some sea salt, and then broccoli, olive oil, sea salt, and a little bit of garlic. Cut up the sweet potatoes and olive oil and sea salt again. So I'm gonna pop these in for like 12 minutes, mix them around, flip these bad boys over, pop them back in for another 12 to 15 minutes, and these will be the veggies for the week. We've got veggies, sweet potatoes, eggs, chicken, and quinoa. just did a ton of planning for the week, got my weekly spread here pretty much summed up, and then all of my weekly like to-dos and things that are going on. With that, I have weekly goals. So I have AM goals and PM goals that I wrote here on my weekly to-dos, and then I added just a few squares here because I want to track them to make sure that I'm like keeping up with my habits. I really feel like tracking to me sometimes it's like hit or miss. Sometimes it's a little bit overboard and extreme, but I feel like when I track just smaller goals that I have for myself, like it makes me do them more. Otherwise I'll just forget. Like I have to write them down somewhere just to remember all of them. Gratitude, I set up like an AM and PM gratitude in my journal, and I've been playing with that. That's like my spread that I've been playing with in my journal, and I love it. It really does help me like not focus on complaining or like things that are hard that I'm dealing with right now with pregnancy and all of that stuff. Sitting and focusing on the negative has really been affecting me. Like I literally get so in my head. I don't have much going on right now. So if I don't like plan out my days, I'm just sitting there in my head and I literally just bitch and I'm so mean to myself. Having this gratitude is really helping me kind of just focus on what I have, being appreciative, and kind of just like zapping me back into reality. Definitely adding that to the habit tracker this week. I've been pretty good with my reading, but I want to start reading daily. I've been kind of just doing chunks of reading here and there. So I have a nonfiction book that I'm reading, and I also have a fiction book. Do you want me to show you guys what I'm reading? The fiction book that I'm gonna start is The God of the Woods. This was actually the book of the fiction book of the year on Goodreads. I really do trust Goodreads reviews. I feel like they're pretty accurate. And then the nonfiction book that I'm gonna read is The Biohacking Like a Woman. This one I'm really excited about, especially postpartum. I feel like if I can read this before that, I'll have a good set idea and like inspiration and motivation to like heal my body and all the health goals, you know? And then I just watched this video on YouTube that was talking about Neville Goddard's like meditation hack to manifesting everything you want. It was basically like just visualizing your goal as if you have it right now, like the life that you are attaining for or like going for. You basically just visualize that you already have that right before bed, because you wake up and it sets the tone for your day. And like, I guess if you fall asleep in whatever state of mind you have, you're like taking that energy throughout the day the next morning. So if you visualize that, it kind of just like sets you up for that feeling of already being in that space and like acting and aligning with those goals and wants that you have for yourself. And then I put a little affirmation down here in the notes section. It says, it will all be so very worth it. I feel like sometimes we make sacrifices for the life we want. It could be hard to live in that moment, especially when you're used to living a certain way, or like your goal is like seems so far in the future, and then you kind of just like don't align with goals for a while just because you want to live happily now in the moment, and you feel like all these like small little instant gratifications are going to bring that to you. But really just sacrifice and consistency within your goal ideas and like your habits that are going to get you to your goals are going to be so very worth it. You've just got to like put the work in and just accept where you are now and work with it to get what you want. Now I'm going to relax for a sec and then finish cleaning. I've got Xander coming home here in a bit, and he has a little to-do list too, so he'll be helping out, and then we'll have like a fresh clean start for the week in terms of like the home and being clean. I'm like on my 15th load of laundry, but it's gonna be again also very worth it tomorrow.
Feels like the first time. Throw away all my pride. Don't wanna say I love you first, but holding it in just might make me burst. Love in the open.
Z just emptied this room. It looks a million times better. I'm so happy. All right, I'm gonna do my skincare. I'm finishing up these makeup wipes, but I'm not gonna repurchase the makeup wipes. And then I'm doing some micellar water. I just recently read that it's actually not as good for you as I remembered it being. And I'm gonna finish this up. That's like my whole thing this year, is like finish up the products before buying new ones. Then I'll do a face wash. I'm actually running out of this one. This is Youth to the People. It's a pretty clean, like simple face wash. I really like Vanna Cream, but I use that one in the shower. Then I will use my tried and true face cream, literally almost out. And then I always do an under eye cream. I think that the reason that I was having such dark circles under my eyes was because I wasn't drinking collagen anymore. And you guys, I literally have been using this castor oil eyebrow thing religiously. So it could be a mix of both, but I've realized when I started drinking collagen again, like my face just looked so much better and less dead. I thought it was the hormones of pregnancy or something, but the only thing that like instantly changed my face was the collagen peptides from Vital something. I'm also gonna do this. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this because you guys made fun of me so much on my other vlog. But I'm trying to do this to like gently massage. It's like my quiet little me time. I've got a candle on over here. Feels so good. Also just makes me feel really good after going to bed. So I'm gonna do some light reading. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I feel super productive. I actually had energy today, which was like insane. Oh, something else I learned is that, and tell me if this is true, when you have a good night's sleep or a bad night's sleep, it doesn't hit until 2 days later. So I'm gonna get a good night's sleep multiple days in a row so that I'm just happy all the time. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in a future vlog. Bye.
What's happening?